Jordan thought he had it all figured out. When he moved his money into a high yield savings account paying 4.5%, it felt like a smart move. He had done the research. He knew traditional savings accounts were a ripoff. While everyone else was earning barely 0.45%, Jordan was earning nearly 10 times that. He thought he had solved the problem, but he didn't because his bank was still making more money off his deposit than he was. And the most surprising part? Everything his high yield savings account was doing with his money. He could have done himself and kept the full return. But here's where it really stings. His coworker, Maya, had $20,000 sitting in a traditional savings account. After one full year, her bank paid her just $76 in interest. But that same year, her bank used that exact same $20,000 to generate over $1,200. She got $76. They kept the rest, and she thanked them for it. Maya had no idea she was losing money. Jordan thought he had fixed the system, but both of them were wrong, just at different levels. So, let's break down what's really happening here. Maya did everything she was told to do. She saved 6 months of expenses. She kept it safe in a savings account. She checked her balance regularly, and every month she saw a small interest deposit. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. It felt responsible. It felt safe, but her savings account was paying just 0.38% annually on $20,000. That's about $76 a year. That's barely enough for a single meal each month. And like most people, Maya assumed her money was just sitting safely in a vault somewhere, but it wasn't. The moment she deposited that money, the bank put it to work. Not for her, for themselves. Banks operate on a very simple model. They take your deposits, pay you a tiny percentage, and lend that same money out at much higher rates. The difference between what they pay you and what they earn is called profit. Right now, banks are making around 3.39% margin on average. So, while Maya earned 0.38%, her bank earned significantly more using her money. And that's just the average. Because when banks lend money through credit card, they charge interest rates as high as 21%. Auto loans, around 7.5%. Personal loans, around 12%. All funded by deposits like Maya's. And then comes something even more interesting: treasury bills. Banks take customer deposits and invest them in short term government bonds, earning around 3.6%. But Maya? She's still getting just 0.38%. That's a huge gap. And here's the catch: Maya could have invested in those same treasury bills herself, but instead, the bank sits in the middle, takes the profit, and gives her the smallest slice. Now let's talk about Jordan. Because Jordan is smarter than the average saver. He switched to a high yield savings account, paying 4.5% on $20,000. He earns about $900 a year. That's a huge jump from Maya's $76. So, what's the problem? First, that 4.5% isn't always real. Some banks advertise up to rates. Others offer temporary promotional rates. So, the actual return might be lower. Second, taxes. Savings account interest is fully taxable. So, if Jordan loses around 25 to 27% to taxes, his $900 becomes closer to $650 to $700. And third, this is the biggest one. The bank is still doing the same thing with his money. They're still lending it out. They're still investing in treasuries. They're still running the same system. The only difference: Jordan is getting a slightly bigger piece, but it's still just a piece. So, here's the question Jordan never asked: if the bank is using my money to earn returns, why can't I do that myself? Let's compare 3 simple scenarios. Maya's savings account earns $76 a year. After tax, about $55. Jordan's high yield account earns about $900. After tax, roughly $650. Now imagine a third option, investing directly into short-term treasury bills. That gives around 3.5% to 4% returns on $20,000. That's roughly $700 to $800 per year. And here's the advantage. This income is often exempt from state taxes. So, after taxes, you keep more of what you earn. Plus, there's no middleman taking a cut, no hidden adjustments, no sudden rate drops. It's transparent. Now, this doesn't mean savings accounts are useless. You still need a checking account for daily expenses. But your idle cash, your savings, emergency fund, extra money doesn't have to sit in a low paying account. You have options. You can use treasury based investments, you can use money market funds, or you can directly invest in government backed securities. All of these give you better control over your money. Now, some people worry about safety. Savings accounts are insured, so that's true. But treasury investments are backed by the same government, so the level of safety is still extremely high. Others worry about access to money. But realistically, how often do you need $20,000 instantly? Most of the time, waiting 1 or 2 days isn't a problem. And during that time, your money is working harder for you. At the end of the day, Maya wasn't wrong. Jordan wasn't wrong. But neither of them asked the most important question. What is my bank doing with my money? And can I do it myself? And the answer is simple. Yes, you can. Your bank is using your money to earn more while giving you less. So the real upgrade isn't just finding a better savings account, it's understanding the system and stepping outside of it. If this opened your eyes to something new, make sure you subscribe to Wealth Mix and turn on the notification bell, because here we break down the hidden math behind money. And trust me, the next video is one you don't want to miss.